Yeah.
Data. So somebody was asking, what about our private life when it comes to connected objects? Are they going to be the gateway? Are connected objects going to be the gateway to a world that's going to be completely digital?
I mean, I don't know where you're living, but I think there's a lot of digital already. I think it's incredibly easy to find out whatever you would want to find out simply by virtue of the mobile phone that you're carrying in your hand all the time. So you don't need to add a lot of other sensors to get a full picture of what kind of person you appear to be. And appear to be is a very important notion. What you appear to be in with the filter of the tools that are given to you is only a shadow of who you are. So whether that shadow is accessible to others and allows others to judge you, and others meaning organizations, insurance companies, banks, etc. There's a profile you're creating. It's not you. It's not you as a person. It's not you and your emotional life. It's not you and literally in your head. And so I think we have to have a conversation about the behaviors that we have with these tools in our hands. So if you buy yourself a smart speaker, for example, which I personally don't own, I'm certainly not going to be putting it in my bedroom, for example. And I wouldn't be necessarily taking my phone to the bathroom with me. You know, there are elements that you start to realize are inviting the digitization of some of your behaviors, which might not be so cool. And I think that that's the best way to start looking at this. So the sort of Orwellian world of 1984, and I do recommend you read 1984 as opposed to just use it as a term like it's, or, you know, and don't even bother with films, read the book. It's worth thinking about also what that book offers, which is ways out. The characters always has a way out. And in that book, the way out is he takes a train and goes to the countryside. Ta-da! And so for us, it could be leaving your phone behind and going for a walk without your phone. Ta-da! You can have a whole, you know, breadth of human experiences by going to a nightclub without your phone, safely, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that there's always, we have to think about our lives as being much, much more than the tools that allow us to capture it. I think it would be a mistake to think of your life as being seen only via the prism of the tools that you have in your hands.
Yeah. And you talked about like a smart speaker, and you wrote a book around like smarter homes. So how did you approach this? And like maybe one example of a product or a service you developed that is changing like what we know about the smart speaker, for example, because we know that, for example, in Alexa or Google Home, we have mics, or at least one mic, so listening to you and what you say. And of course, they will say that it is for personalization, to better know you, to push you things that are for you and only for you. But how did you approach this when working for smarter homes?
So I wrote Smarter Homes in 2018. I didn't choose the title. My publisher chose the title because they're very smart. They know that they want to sell people books as opposed to, you know, it's not my job. But my job is to write them. What I wanted to find out was our history of technology in the home and our approaches to selling people technology in the home. Technology is usually sold in the home to women, generally speaking. And, you know, so a person within a heteronormative couple ensemble will tend to be the object of most marketing companies' focus. And they will go with very specific scenarios around how to sell them smart things. And smartness has meant everything from selling people a electric iron in 1920 to a smart speaker today. The marketing speak and the marketing concepts are exactly the same than 100 years ago. And it's terrifying because the approach has always been, well, in a complex family environment, probably one person is in charge of how the domestic realm works. That person we're going to start to attack with marketing everywhere they go, in magazines they read, in the city, through exhibitions, through celebrities. And we're going to start to tell them stories about what it means to live a good life. And that good life means buying the latest washing machine or the latest whatever. And the last 20 years has meant that those same objects have gotten slightly more technologically advanced, but the stories we used to sell them are always the same. They're always about family making. They're always about home making. They're always about efficiency,
saving time.
When we know that, you know, those lives are very different, and the stories and the marketing stories should be very different, but they're not.